A hilarious new stand-up special from comedy legend Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, is coming to Hulu November 22nd. This Thanksgiving, see Jim in a whole new light as he gives you the inside scoop on everything from parenting teenagers to weight loss and gaslighting family members. For everyone in need of a happy hour, the new hilarious stand-up special, Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, premieres November 22nd, streaming on Hulu. Why get all your holiday decorations delivered through Instacart? Because maybe you only bought 2 wreaths, but have 12 windows. Or maybe your toddler got very eager with the advent calendar. Or maybe the inflatable snowman didn't make it through the snowstorm. Or maybe the twinkle lights aren't twinkling. Whatever the reason this season, Instacart's here for hosts and their whole holiday haul. Get decorations from the Home Depot, CVS, and more through Instacart and enjoy free delivery on your first 3 orders. Service fees and terms apply.
Ask me, ask Iliza anything. It's time to ask. Ask me all your questions. Leave them in the Instagram comment section. Leave them on your Twitter or leave them on your Facebook. We'll see them, we'll read them, then we'll give you answers. You know it, I've got it. I've got the answer. You ask me, I'll tell you anything. I was going to do this as a bottom of the cob.
What?
But I'm just going to say.
Started.
I know, but I'm just going to say.
Okay.
Baby stuff.
Oh, you're having a real.
It's a ripoff. I don't want the space in my brain for this bullshit information because they make you think that if you don't get like this Nordic enforced gibberish named seed that your baby's going to like, the thing's going to fold in on itself and snap your baby in half. It's all just like upcharge on upcharge. Like people have been surviving for thousands of years, hundreds of years with wooden baby toys. And I just think it plays into competitive parenting and it preys on mothers' fears of their baby dying. And I think there's some things you're like, yeah, you want like a really nice stroller if you can afford it. But like everything else, like
Well, and you
on
only
the floor.
It's crazy the stuff that you'll only use for like a year or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. And like people are like, what about COVID? It's like, hopefully you'd wash it. But then what happens is you just break down. You're like, ugh, I can't sit here and like haggle with a mom from like Sherman Oaks about her like up a baby, picker, baby, puppy, bumper, upper.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just breaks you down. And it's like you're a bad parent if you don't want to spend, like I can spend that money. I just don't want to. It's stupid. It's a waste. It's wasteful.
Yeah.
I was struggling with this a few weeks ago, and then I go on this registry and adding stuff to the registry. It's like import other registry. Oh, unfortunately, the code is not valid. You're just like, I think actually having a child is easier than making this registry.
This is the worst part.
It is like import. Hey, are you a regular person? Import this HTML. Like it's a nightmare. And then because of supply chain, it's like, sorry, you'll have to have a rabid wolf pushing your baby. I just think it's kind of all bullshit. And I look forward to combating this well into raising my child.
Oh, boy.
I just do.
Well, and you've gotten a few things from like other moms, like your manager.
Yeah,
had
you
some
pick a
stuff.
select few women that you trust and then you ask for their stuff. Like one of my friends was like, you need to get, a baby nacho. And I was like, can I just have your baby nacho? She was like, yeah, I guess so. Like, why not? But like all this fear monger, like, get your sleeping now. It's like, shut up. Don't say that to people. One of our neighbors was like, you need to get your kid set up for preschool now. And I'm like, really? She's not even born. I went on the website. You have to have a birthday. It's like this fear mongering, like, oh, she's just not going to be anything.
Yeah, they want to do a walkthrough with the living child.
Ideally, when the child can walk.
Yeah.
So this thing where it's like, oh, you should have, when you were 19, started looking into preschools. Somehow things get by. And you know what? Also, nothing can beat is good parenting. Put your kid in the best school, your kid still might be a fuck up because you're a fuck up. I don't plan on that happening.
Do you think you're going to be a good parent? I don't mean that loaded in any way. Like, do you think, or is it something that you've?
I don't know. I think I'm a pretty cool person.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that like a dog is not a baby because a dog like doesn't cry, which I find grating. Even a child's laugh, I find repulsive. I think I'll be cool, but I really believe you don't know till you go.
Yeah.
I'm not one of these people that's like, I'm not going to let my kid have screens. It's like, really? See if that kid's screaming at dinner. See if you don't give it a screen.
Yeah.
So I'm big on not judging other parents for their style. But I also like think back at like all the stuff I did or didn't have. And like, I'm pretty well adjusted. So
Yeah.
I plan on doing that.
Yeah. My poor parents had to push around one of those strollers that has two, like, because we're twins. So it's like the double decker.
Who got the front?
I feel like it was, I don't know. I just remember that I always had to wear a little hat because I was bald. And so they had to protect my little head. And my sister had like a lot of hair.
No, it was to tell you apart.
That could have been
You both
it.
had hair.
That could have been it.
You have
They
so much hair
shaved
now.
me to be like,
Ew. You couldn't figure it out. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, do you want to have another one? I'm like, I haven't even had this one. I don't know.
no, people are so weird about that.
What are the stats on surrogates? Like, let's get that going. Let's get that order in so I can get that to go.
Yeah,
My
hit
order's
up
ready.
hit up whoever did Kim Kardashian's kids and see.
And I'm sure that name is just like out there. The whole thing is just like all of a sudden it's like, hey, you need to think about everything that you've never thought about because we were telling you were a whore for having sex. And now that you had this baby, up a baby, pick up upper.
I just feel like we're in an age where we have too much information about everything. And so it's like, if you didn't know about all this stuff, you wouldn't worry about it. But now that you know about all of it, it's like, oh God.
Also, the most intuitive, strongest force on the planet is nature. Like, you're going to figure it out. Your body's going to do what it's do. That being said, all the things that happen in your body, like, it would suggest that it's not natural to have a child. Like, everything is just, your vision gets weird and your nose gets stuffy and you grow like a nub.
Are you growing enough?
I don't have, I mean, a bump.
Your stomach or something else?
Let's see that baby bump. Like, all right, relax.
I just read on Reddit about someone who was pregnant and like a man just reached over and just like touched her. And she was like, oh my God, get off of me. And he's like, hey, I'm trying to touch I just want to feel it.
Why?
Like,
So you
get
can get
out
a
of here.
boner?
Why? Like, why do you want to feel someone else's
People are
baby?
so gross. I don't even want to feel another person, period. Get away from me. I don't know you. My name's Yanfu.
All right. Hi, Iliza crew and fur babies. I think my question is unique. At least I've not heard it asked in 2 years of listening. Let's see. My husband and I, both 34, need to get serious about estate planning and organizing guardians for our kids. 8-year-old girl, 5-year-old boy. Right now, we have my mom set as first. She's the obvious choice, most involved with the kids and willing to pick up her life so they have consistency. And she's most in line with our beliefs and our wishes for how they be raised. But she's in her 60s. We need to have backups named. Right now, the second.
60s are pretty young, but okay, fair.
Yeah, but I mean, if that, you know.
Also, hopefully you won't need it ever. And also, hopefully it's not anytime soon.
Yeah. Right now, the second is my BFF, the kid's unofficial godmother, non-religious, as she is similar to my mom in understanding our wishes, but hasn't seen the kids a lot since we moved out of state 5 years ago.
That's a sitcom waiting to happen.
We actually
With
have
a sad origin story.
We actually have a lot of other family, many of which I think would flip if they knew we plan to leave our kids with a non-blood relative. But we don't agree with a lot of their lifestyles. They also really aren't great with money. I'd love for my brother to step up. He's close with the kids, understands our wishes, and is terrific with money, on track for early retirement, but he's not comfortable taking care of kids. Now that the kids are older, I want to bring up the topic with him again, but also don't want to pressure him or guilt him. He's on the shy side. It'd be hell for him to deal with family who wants to visit the kids, having to possibly advocate for them like at school. My BFF would be much better suited for dealing with all that. She's no nonsense. So how do I approach my bro, and how do we tell our other family we don't want them to be guardians? I don't want them to find out after tragedy strikes. That would be hell for everyone.
You should do. That's exactly what you should do. Then you don't have to deal with any of this. That's
By the
all I'm
way,
thinking.
The reason this has been weighing on me extra, a few months back, my husband and I had a very near-death experience. If you want to hear that story, just let me know and I'll follow up. Yes, we do. Okay. I immediately...
Okay. My whole thought the whole time was like, who cares? You'll be dead. You don't have to deal with it. You'll be dead.
Don't push your brother into it. He doesn't want to do it.
He doesn't want to do it.
He shouldn't have to step up. He didn't choose to have children.
Listen to me. These are your wishes. You got the mom on deck. Everything's going to be fine. You're not going to die. And the odds of both of you dying, while very high, I'm just kidding. You're not going to die. Quit thinking about it. You're going to manifest something weird. And God forbid you die. And God forbid your mom also dies. Hopefully the kids are old enough, because you only have about 10 more years on the oldest one where you have to think about this. You definitely go with the best friend. And quite frankly, nobody needs to know the plan. Nobody's thinking about it. Nobody's digging into it. This is not Thanksgiving conversation. Mom, you're on deck. Best friend, you're in the bullpen. That's it. You don't have to share this with anyone.
Yeah.
Nobody's asking. Nobody's thinking about it.
My mom the other day was like, call me and give me your social security number because we're putting you down as the person who's dealing with
We're putting you
the
to sleep.
whatever, with the state planning.
Oh,
but
God.
I know you're saying like you don't want to bully your brother into it, but you do because you're saying you want him to step up. And how do you talk to him to make him do it? He doesn't want to do it. Don't put this on him.
That'll be uncomfortable for your kids. That's it. Not everybody's equipped to be a parent. And it sounds like by choice, he's not a parent. So don't do that to him.
Mm-hmm.
Go with the best friend and no one's going to ask you like, oh, what did you decide?
Yeah.
Unless there's like a lot of money at stake, but I don't think that's true.
Yeah. People aren't like, hey.
If there were, you'd be cryogenically freezing your bodies. You wouldn't worry about being dying.
Who's getting those kids when you guys die and your mom dies?
Yeah, what is this, Lemony Snicket?
No one needs to know.
The Baudelaire twins?
Except for your lawyers. Okay. So do you know what a baby sprinkle is?
No.
So it's like if it's you're like your second or third kid, so not your first kid, right? Because it's like,
it's not a shower.
Yeah, because you've already gotten probably a majority of baby stuff at the shower, but now a sprinkle is like, we still want some more
cash.
gifts.
Yeah, here's some fresh diapers.
Yeah, so.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. I know being thankful is on everyone's minds, and with thankfulness comes gratitude, a concept that honestly really bothers me. I'm tired of thanking everyone else. You know who deserves a thank you? Me. You deserve a thank you. When's the last time you thanked yourself? Sometimes it's hard to remind ourselves that we are doing the absolute best we can. So here I am reminding you to send some thanks to the people in your life, but mostly send some thanks to yourself. And a great way to do that is with therapy. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and it's suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire and you get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time, no additional charge. You don't have to travel anywhere. They take the hassle out of finding that perfect therapist. Let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Iliza today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Iliza. Fall has fallen. Winter is on its way. The days are shorter. But just because, they feel shorter. And just because the days feel shorter doesn't mean your to-do list gets any shorter. You still have to power through your busy days. And a great way to do that is with nutritious food from Factor's no prep, no mess meals. At the end of a short day in the fall or the winter, the last thing you want to do is have to cook. Factor has got you covered from breakfast, snacks, dinner, anything in between. Factor has easy, nutritious options to keep you fueled, like their chicken Florentine with spinach and garlic chili cauliflower. You bet. That's what I want to make myself at the end of a day where I am exhausted and my husband isn't home. Whether you like routine or you enjoy mixing things up, Factor has you covered with 35 different delicious meals every week and over 60 additional convenience options you can add on, like keto cookies, pressed juices, and smoothies. And because Factor meals are chef prepared and dietitian approved, you're going to love not only Factor's meals taste, but also how they support your goals, even if your goal was just making yourself dinner. Head to factormeals.com/Iliza50 and use code Iliza50 to get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month. That's code Iliza50 at factormeals.com/Iliza50 to get 50% off your first box, plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active.
The holidays are here. And for a lot of us, the holidays mean decorating, hosting, celebrating. For me, it means a lot of traveling. And nothing feels better year-round, but especially during the cozy holidays, than a restful night's sleep in soft, luxurious sheets. Boll & Branch's signature sheets are made with the finest 100% organic cotton, and they get softer with every single wash. You already know that I got Boll & Branch this summer when I needed breathable sheets to sleep in, but this holiday season, I'm actually gifting some of my friends and family Boll & Branch's Ultimate Softness Bundle. I get to choose a signature hem sheet set in any color, a signature hem pillow set, and a waffle bed blanket. And they're all getting juniper because I think it's a classy color. This way you know you have something nice to sleep on when you visit. It's the perfect gift for you and them. Gift you and your loved ones a better night's sleep with Boll & Branch. And right now is their best offer of the entire year. For 25% off plus free shipping on your first set of sheets, head to bollandbranch.com/Iliza. That's Boll & Branch, BOLLAND branch.com/Iliza for 25% off. Limited time only. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
We got a DM. Iliza. Hi, Iliza. I was curious on how you felt about baby sprinkles. Unless you accidentally got pregnant after giving your baby things away and your youngest is 10 years old, I find it annoying and typically don't attend them. With that being said, I'm in a pickle. My sister-in-law, my husband's brother's wife,
Mm-hmm.
is pregnant with her second child. Her first child just turned 2, and this second baby was planned.
Okay.
She's having a baby sprinkle thrown for her, which isn't really a sprinkle, seeing as 40 plus people are invited. I asked my husband if it would be wrong not to attend since it's my sister-in-law, and he kind of just gave me a shoulder shrug and said it would probably be best to just attend.
100%.
With the first shower, my husband and I spent good money on a newborn shoot for the present and never received a thank you for it. No
Ew.
thank you note sent out or even a thank you in person at the shower, which was a little hurtful. Anyway, I'm wondering if I should just suck
Did
it
she
up
get
and
it?
go.
Did she not get it? What's a baby shoot?
I assume like a picture. It's a photo shoot with the baby.
Oh, I thought it was like a sack
No, I assume it was
for
like
the baby.
a photo shoot. I'm wondering if I should just suck it up and go
Maybe
and get
the
her
baby's
something
ugly.
simple, like an outfit and some diapers, or
There you
just
go.
fake sick.
There
Figured
you
I
go.
would get your thoughts on the subject.
That's exactly what you do. It will create so much of a problem. Go out, you get one of them cheap diaper towers, or like, oh, look, your baby can be a raccoon for Halloween, whatever. Go to Target, wrap it nicely, whatever. Spend under $50. I don't know your financial situation. There's stuff out there for $20. Get her like a 10-pack of bibs, some diapers, or get the mom like a relaxation, like bullshit gift set, the candle that says like strong mama.
Yeah, find something cheap on the
Yeah.
registry. It's just easier. But I would be curious, did you ever see the photos? Did she go do the shoot
She
and
never
then not
did it.
say anything to you?
There you go. She never did it. She never did it because she didn't want to, and she hated that you gifted that to her. Now,
I think it's a sweet gift.
again, if the baby's ugly, it's a burden on everyone. If you want to sidestep like you participating in their family, get the mom. Go on like Etsy, type in like mama to be, and there's all these like faux empowerment, like rock star mama lip balm. You can get one for like $15 or something, and it comes with lavender, and that way nobody can accuse you of not being thoughtful. You're like, I was thinking of you. That way
Yeah.
you're not giving their baby present. It's something small.
Yeah.
You'll be done.
But how do you feel? Like, I feel like, yeah, it's like they had a kid. They knew they were having another kid. They probably didn't throw out their, like, all the stuff, like all that stuff that we were just talking about,
Right.
like all the stuff you need, like
Upper baby picker, upper.
yeah, and a baby nacho and
Upper
whatever.
baby better picker, upper baby buggy bumper.
So they have that stuff and are like, we would just like more
Did you
stuff.
say the nacho?
Yeah, 'cause you said
I
it.
don't know what that is.
It's not a thing, but
It's not a thing. It should be. It's a triangle that your baby goes in. It's crunchy for his senses.
I
Yeah.
don't like it.
Maybe she's registered, but if you sidestep all that, the point is it will cause a bigger problem to not go. Your husband's absolutely right. You just go, you stay for 20 minutes. I got to go pick up the kids. Whatever. That's
Got
it.
diarrhea.
Because, yeah. And then find out about those pictures.
Yeah.
You could very passive aggressively be like, we got you this because you should get her a camera. A frame. For those pictures I bought you. You shrew. You shrew.
I get the like it's easier to just get her something small and go, but I get that being like, God, like grubby to do like we're having a big shower for the second, like 40 plus people. It's like, ugh.
I don't know. This stuff's expensive and this baby's no less valuable.
But it's like, what is this thing? Why do I have to subsidize other people's lives?
It's part of being friends. It's straight out of Sex and the City. Carrie's like, I've got to go to your housewarming. And that's why when Jody
I love
had her
this.
birthday, I threw it for her.
Yeah.
It was a housewarming.
Housewarming.
I threw it, quote unquote,
Mhm.
for her, even though like it was at her house and she bought a bunch of snacks.
Mhm.
And I was like, and I just straight up in the email said what she couldn't say. I was like, hey, you guys, Jody has, been to your weddings and been to your things, and now she's got a house. So please cough it up.
Yeah.
People, of course, think like if you don't have kids, then we shouldn't give you any gifts. But you shouldn't have to subsidize it. But it is the cost of friendship. Like you're in their
Yeah.
lives,
It just adds up and up and up.
does.
And you're just like, oh,
but you don't have to do something expensive. And she's a shitty person if she's like, why wasn't this more expensive? If
Yeah.
you're a multimillionaire and you're like, here's a Target gift card for $10. Fuck you.
But if she didn't send a thank you card for the first one, so it's like she gets
She
what
also
she
may
gets.
have. It got lost. Like you don't know the story, but I think you're right, Emily. I think she never took
Should
those
never use
pictures.
it. I would be very curious to know if there were photos.
Get her
taken.
another photo session.
But to not even say, hand her the same
you
exact.
sound like you were crying.
I
To
know.
not even say.
Hand her back the same exact confirmation email from 2 years ago.
Oh my God. That's so funny. Be like, use this and I'll get you another gift. Chazer.
Yeah.
Let us know what you do. Let us know about those pictures. Nobody ever
I
lets
was
us
very
know.
curious.
2 years later, the mirror wasn't haunted. Cool update. The mirror was haunted. I'm texting you from beyond the grave.
Hi, Iliza. Longtime fan of your comedy and listener of the pod. I'm a 29-year-old female who works in TV production.
Uh-oh.
Last year, I landed my first job as a director's assistant for a network TV pilot.
Director's assistant.
For context, the director is a highly regarded, sought-after comedy director who's worked on very high-profile shows for most of his career. That job got cut short by the pandemic, but we kept in touch and we finally reconnected when he hired me as his assistant early this year for a first-season comedy. Since then, we've worked on several shows together and seem to get along. He's a nice enough guy and seems open to mentorship. And as I'm someone who ultimately wants to direct, he's a perfect person to work for. So, when our show got picked up for a second season, for some reason, when renegotiating his contract this time around, he didn't get an assistant. I got hired on the show anyway as a PA, the same job I've been doing for 5 years. But since the director is also on the show, he still routinely asks me to do things for him.
He's also an actor on the show?
No, since the
still on the
director is also on the show. Like, this is the director's on this show, and they've worked together before. Since he's working from the East Coast most of the time, he's an EP but will fly in every few weeks to direct an episode. He leans on me to keep him informed and to listen in on meetings, etc. He's told me multiple times that he'll talk to higher ups and get me back to doing my old job, but so far I've continued to do grunt work as a PA while still doing things for him on the DL.
Yeah.
Today, he finally said he didn't want to ruffle any more feathers, but still wants me available to him, saying things like, you can create the job you want, which feels ludicrous considering the job I want literally existed 6 months ago.
Something's up.
Long story short, I've assisted and done thankless grunt work for 5 years on other shows. I finally got a more interesting job, and now I have to do it secretly without the title, pay, or respect. If I can get demoted like this in season 2, I don't see making any meaningful advancement in future seasons. Am I being naive and letting myself be exploited, or is this just another soul-crushing step on the way to my dream job?
I could probably figure out who this is.
I'm not asking for an Emmy. I'm not even asking to direct yet.
Sounds
All I
like you're
want
asking for an Emmy.
is to assist the director I've already been working with above board and feel like I'm making some forward momentum in my career. I'm
not assistant director, director's assistant, not assistant manager.
No, she says
assistant
I want to
regional,
assist the director.
assistant to the regional manager.
Almost 30, feeling very stuck. It's getting harder and harder to go to work every day without feeling resentful that I'm doing the same job I've been doing since I graduated college and for the same pay. I'd love any and all thoughts. You have much love to you, the gang, and your brewing little human. Signed, L.
Here's what happened. I don't know the net. Did you say ABC?
No.
Oh, I don't know where I got that. I don't know the network.
It's a network comedy, apparently.
A network comedy.
Yeah.
Network. You're not saying like a network, like a cable network. You're saying a network comedy. If it's okay, there's the version where this show was like barely brought back or they needed a sophomore show. This has happened before. So they're like, fine, this one, but let's slash budgets. Now, I'd be interested to know if the budget was cut on the show, or is this like Scandal? Is this like a big show where they have a big budget? Okay. Because you don't want to say that. And they're like, no, we made cuts everywhere. So like I would compare the rosters from the last two to see, is there a bigger department or is there a smaller department? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say all things are the same and they brought it back. You'll know if the show's successful. You can look it up. Let's say it's successful. Part of me feels like he just didn't go to bat for you. Or maybe the network didn't necessarily. Did he create the show?
No, but like EP director, and so she had been working with him as
he's an EP on the show. I get it. No, I get it.
Yeah,
I think he didn't go to bat for you, and he's trying to get you to work quote unquote for free because they're paying you less. I hear that. At first I was like, dude, suck it up. This is great, but given the rest of the info, this comes down to what you will and won't put up with.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's, you don't want to go above him. He's the EP, so you can't. I would take stock of everything, like I just said, and I would just say to him, I think you have to stand up for yourself, and I can't tell you exactly how to do it, but I can tell you, especially at 30, like there are almost 30, fine. There are people, yes, who are career PAs, whatever, but there are people who have surpassed you that have higher jobs, and there are no favors in show business. Please hear me when I tell you this. I know this is going to fall on deaf ears, probably to you and most of the podcast, because most people don't work in showbiz. The amount of things I've done where it's like, well, it's a really good look for the network. And then the executive you do that for, shocker, they moved. And now they're in drama at like Telemundo. And you're like, cool, I can't work there. So when you're younger, it's like you want to be this go-getter and you want to help out. But at a certain point, you'll start to see doing favors like actually gets you nowhere. And you're uncomfortable and he's taking advantage. And he may not see it that way because he sees it as like, you're lucky. So I would just put it to him. I don't know how you're going to stay on the show. It's tough because you can't be like, no, I won't make that call for you.
Right. It's tough because you're doing the PA job and then also doing the assistant job that was taken away from you.
Hey, what he's saying when I don't want to ruffle feathers is he's like, I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's going to be tough. I promise you, he is a small and petty man. Most men that work in this industry are.
Yeah.
And I promise he's going to be a bitch about it.
Yeah. Do you think it's worthwhile to suck it up for this season, but talk to him and be like, I can't do this again next season. Like I need to.
I don't know how much longer your season is.
Right.
So it's like, can you suck it up? Is this, it's a network show. So you're probably doing so many episodes,
Yeah. And it's just such a gamble of like, will this pay out?
You know what you could say to him? You could just be like, you could lie and just be like, I have a second job and my bandwidth is cut short. So I focus really hard on this PA job. I'm trying to move up here, but I can't do both. Because he'll be like, what's the big deal? I ask you to do like, you're not doing him a favor.
Yeah.
But at a certain point you feel taken advantage of. And the truth is he is not going to bat for you. And if this guy's a big deal, like, why would you not be able to have an assistant? I think he's lying to you.
Well, that it's like it wasn't in his contract
he
this
could
year.
keep the money or something.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or it may not have been and the show's not doing that well. I would assess and let us know.
Yeah. Do you think she should have like just an honest conversation with him about like, I'm doing 2 jobs, it feels like a step back. I would love to work directly with you above the board.
Yeah. But what are you going to say? Like, or I can't send that fax for you.
Yeah, that's tough.
I think it's not so much the workload as much as you feel like you're being asked to do these favors.
Especially because he's like, just do it. Just like it's on the DL. Like just cater to my needs, but also do your job and don't tell anyone because we're not paying you to help me.
It's really it's very weird, especially for a network show where like everything's
isn't all unionized.
It is. It all is. And what he's doing is he's just getting free work and probably getting to keep extra money in the budget or something. Something's not right here.
Yeah. Sorry.
But those are the thoughts.
Yeah.
Re-listen to that answer.
Whatever we just said.
Yeah.
All right. We have a question and a Kashi cereal pregnancy tip.
Oh, God.
So we'll do the question
You want
first.
to lose your baby and your butthole? Load up. I get sued.
Hello, Iliza and crew. I'm a longtime fan from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Looking forward to seeing you live in April. I saw your show with a friend the last time you were in OKC and cannot wait to see you again.
We had that tasty pizza.
Mm.
Where's that Oklahoma City? I think it was Tulsa. 3 sisters? Okay.
Mm. I'm 26 and had my first child this August. By recommendation from my son's pediatrician and my own doctor, my husband and I are only allowing vaccinated family members and friends meet our son. I was vaccinated this last March when I was pregnant and have read that there is some evidence that shows antibodies can be passed on from mother to child, and I'm hoping he has some of mine.
Yeah.
My husband and I both have large families that live in our hometown, and for the most part, they have all been vaccinated except for 3 stubborn members of my family. My 2 younger brothers, one of them is still in college, and my grandmother. My mother and father are both vaccinated, so I'm not sure why they're being so stubborn when it comes to getting the vaccine. It makes me sad that they won't get it to meet their first nephew and great-grandson. Do I hold strong through the holiday season and keep the baby away, or do I risk it since the majority of the family is vaccinated?
Nope.
I want to have Thanksgiving, Christmas together as a family, but I'm torn. Also, my good friend whose due date was just 3 days after mine had her son, and I've yet to see her because she also refuses to get vaccinated and has 2 stepchildren that attend a large high school and husband that works in the medical industry. I just feel like it's all too risky. This is the same friend I bought tickets with to see your show with before COVID happened.
Well, at least you got in one show.
Am I being a crazy new mom for wanting to shelter my baby?
Nope.
Or am I the sane one trapped in a state where people would rather ingest horse dewormer rather than an FDA-approved vaccine?
It is FDA approved, just not for humans.
Also hot pregnancy tip.
I'm ready.
I was so constipated my entire pregnancy, and one day I was listening to your podcast and I heard you talking about Kashi cereal. If you ever are feeling backed up this pregnancy, it helps do the trick.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Also, this is a pic of my sweet baby.
That is sweet baby. That's a gorgeous baby. Yeah. If you want to install handrails next to your toilet so you got something to grip while you're bearing down and dumping out. Listen to me. Yeah. If you want to like start going through the motions of giving birth, load up on Kashi because it's the same pushing mechanism. Listen to me. I can only give you this advice because I am leading by example and I have a very close family member who will not get vaccinated. and we were having a big Thanksgiving and they are not invited.
Yeah.
I said, please get vaccinated. I'm giving you time to do your research. Oh, I've done the research. I'm like, cool Instagram scroll.
Yeah.
So my answer is what I'm doing. And that is, sorry, it hurts. It sucks. But we have to stand firm. And it just takes one.
And it's so interesting to see like the only negative reviews we're getting on the podcast are people that are like, I thought you were open-minded, but now that you're bashing other people's views and beliefs, I won't listen. It's like, this is not that anymore.
Also, I don't care what your beliefs are. I care about the fucking facts.
Yeah.
And like your view, I mean, your view could be that being a murderer is good. So just because you're not being open-minded, person that left that comment, because you're not supporting this is my fucking podcast. And I'll tell you something else. You're a pariah.
Yeah. So, but this is just one of those. No, this is just one of those things where we're losing friends, we're losing family. We're like people are drawing such a hard line. You need to keep your family safe in whatever way you got to do
what's right for you, just as they are doing what's right for them, and nobody is forcing them to get the vaccine.
Yeah,
and nobody's forcing you to not get it or to get it, and then you make your own choices. They're making their choices. For some reason, people who don't like the vaccine have a problem with other people having their choices.
Yeah.
And they don't realize they'll be taking away your choice of life when they kill you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so someone reached out. Hi, Iliza and Emily. I'm based in Austin, Texas. I listen to your podcast while I'm working in my studio. I'm a sculptor.
Is it a guy or a girl?
Girl.
And you're a sculptress.
And wanted to respond to the listener's question about keeping old journals and diaries.
Wait, sculptress. I
actually went through this a few years ago and ultimately decided to censor or toss most of my preteen or high school writings because I would only tend to write in them if I had extremely strong emotions, i.e. I hate my parents or obsessing about a boy that weren't representative of the totality of the time and the likelihood of my loved ones coming across them if I passed and those words being among the last thing they saw me write about them just didn't seem worth it.
You guys are so morbid. Like no one's going to read your diary from when you were 15 and be like, this is how she thought as an adult.
That said, the grade school ones were pretty funny / adorable. Hope that helps. As always, I really appreciate your dual perspective / insight on the wide range of issues and questions.
Look, if you don't have kids, no one's going through your old books. Nobody's going to throw it out.
I found an old diary of mine, and the only entry in it was like, my neighbor Martha Ann died today. It was like November 7th, 1990. And I was just like, my neighbor died. And I just remember that like that was the first person I knew that had died. And I just put that, and there was nothing else in this journal.
I started writing funny sketches like from a very young age.
Yeah.
Like all a little morbid. A lot of my stories that I wrote in school are like, and then this person died. So I get that.
Yeah.
Keep two things, lock them up in a safety deposit box. This idea that like, what if I die and they find them? Like shouldn't cross your mind.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to read through your stuff. They're going to look for cash and then they're going to throw your stuff away.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't put cash in there.
Leave a fake treasure map. Like I'm writing this to myself in the event of my mental demise. The money is hidden where the green grass grows, and just like send them on a goose chase.
So finally, fall is here. I have been looking forward to it. I have had a hard year in a good way. You know, like I had a baby. I have been on a nonstop tour, nonstop traveling, and it's been hot. So I'm looking forward to, of course, pumpkin spice, everything, cooler weather, and slipping into a cozy sweater from Quince. I've talked about Quince before. Quince has beautiful leather jackets, cotton cardigans, soft denim, and so much more. All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Dressing expensive doesn't have to be expensive. Their clothing is beautiful, it's durable, it stands the test of time, and it's what I like to call a capsule wardrobe. I got an Italian wool cocoon coat. That's one of those, you know, it's got like a European collar and it covers my butt so I can walk around New York City and not be chilly. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices. Get cozy in Quince's high-quality wardrobe essentials. Go to quince.com/Iliza for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/Iliza to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Iliza.
Hey, Iliza and Emily. I am 28 and have been single for the last 5 years. 4 months ago, I met this great guy who I really like, get along with my friends, and my parents like him. Everything was going great until I mentioned that I was friends with an ex from high school and a friend I had slept with once a few years ago. He was upset, telling me it's super weird to be friends with an ex, and he didn't want to be around them, and he was worried I would cheat on him with one of them, even though I've never, ever cheated on anyone. I don't want to feel guilty being friends with them or not be able to have my boyfriend and them in the same room. I love to host my friend group at my house. He has picked a few fights with me since finding out, saying he didn't know if he could get over the feeling of knowing I'm friends with them.
Please dump this person.
Is this something I should give him time to get over, or is the trust issue too deep? He has been cheated on before we met.
I was about to
Thanks.
say, this
Love
guy's
you.
been, oh man, I was about to say, this guy's been cheated on. You are going to pay for it. And what will happen is you will coach him through it and you will, listen to me, you will bear the brunt of this and all of his insecurities and you'll soften him for the next woman. And then he'll be normal with her. It should be very unattractive to you that he is that insecure. You shouldn't have even had to have started this email with, I've been single for 5 years. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you've been sleeping with dudes this whole time.
Yeah.
Run, do not walk from this guy. And I dated someone like that who was like such a great guy. And his last girlfriend made a real cuck out of him. And I didn't cheat on him. And it was just constant. And it would flare up if we go out drinking. He would say something, or it was always rearing its head, and it only got worse. And I just like dumped him in the night and ran away. Next person he dated, he married, and they've got kids, and he's lovely, and it's fine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool. That was fun being a punching bag. So not literally, but this is not the guy for you. This is so gross, and you won't even want to have sex with him, and he's just going to be so weird. He's putting you in a box.
Yeah.
Baby,
It's not worth it.
You're allowed to have had a life.
Yeah. And to have good relationships with
Give me a
people.
fucking break.
Yeah. So we have a follow-up from someone who had reached out and they had said prego party goblin, and they said they won't
They won't
no
say
more
prego.
P-O word. It's the preg nanny party goblin. See you in March.
Nanny.
So they said they had asked about work. They had that really flexible job, right? But they were offered like a new job at the same company.
That was also shitty.
That was like a lot less creativity,
$2
but it's more
an hour.
money.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they said,
more.
did the interview, got the rejection email today. Everyone that I told about the interview was so confident that I would get it or at least make it to the second round. While I was torn, it does feel shitty. I guess I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. I just want to make sure there's more to support my babby and make more than my husband, as I'm the one with the
Do you
MBA.
think they wrote baby and they just wrote
No, they put it in quotes because then they're like, no more P-O word. So look, honestly, sometimes you get a rejection and it works out because you don't have to make the choice.
everything always works out for the best.
Yeah, I think
of.
that like
Unless
it sucks to be rejected,
you
but
die.
I mean, it sucks to be rejected, but I think it worked out for the best.
We told you not to get that job anyway.
Yeah.
So the gods have conspired in our favor.
Yeah.
No.
Hi, Iliza, Emily, Tino, Chino, Gracie, and the newest and most exciting addition, Baby Leg.
Oh,
I live in Miami.
she has two.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I looked.
We'll see.
I looked right at that leg and that butt.
Oh,
They show
you can
the
see
butt.
the butt.
They're
Can you
like,
see
and
like
there's
the
the-
butt cheeks or
and they're
just
and there's the vulva. You're like, I'm good.
Oh.
I would hope that it's there.
Yeah.
Oh, female comic hopes her child has anatomy. Baby's got two legs. I don't mean to brag.
Good for her.
Got two legs.
I live in Miami and recently moved from the beach to a more family-oriented area.
From the beach.
I have a 20-month-old baby girl, so she was born 2 months before the pandemic. I had a pretty traumatic birth, so it took me a long time to recover both emotionally and physically.
Oof.
And basically, by the time I was functional again, we went into lockdown. I spent the first year and a half of my daughter's life completely isolated and had no opportunities to socialize with anyone. Most of my friends either don't have kids or they had them a long time ago. In May this year, I was introduced to a group of moms. We're probably 10 total that live close by. Everyone's a first-time mom. Most of us have very flexible work hours, and we're all in our 40s. This group has become my lifeline, quite frankly. Motherhood can be very lonely, and it's extremely boring to only interact with a toddler all day long.
Oh, God, that sounds awful.
We live in a beautiful area with lots of parks everywhere, so we get together 3 days a week, and we hired teachers to do classes for our toddlers outdoors. The kids love each other, and I'm really enjoying my time with the moms. We go out, just the moms, once a month for dinner. It's just a wonderful support group. No one gossips or talks shit. It's all very positive.
Uh-oh, but
That sounds like my nightmare.
here comes Linda.
My one dilemma is that most of the moms are very conservative in their views. One, for example, is fiercely pro-life. Another has made a couple anti-gay remarks. And there's one gay mom. I'm almost sure they're all Trump supporters. A couple of them made light anti-Semitic remarks in the past dinners. There's one Jewish mom also. All of them are
Sounds
very...
like they're equal opportunity offenders. Sounds like everybody's chill.
All of them are very well-educated Latin women who emigrated here not too long ago. They're open-minded enough that at the dinners, I've been able to tell them I disagree, and it never gets personal or nasty. Me and my husband's group of friends and family is pretty homogenous. We're all liberal, pro-choice, etc. This is my first time socializing that often with people who have such drastically different views. And there's a part of me that feels
Welcome to
conflicted
Miami.
after those dinners.
Bienvenido a
I'm trying to
Miami.
see the value in these interactions as I know life is nuanced, but sometimes I wonder if this is positive for me. I have zero complaints beyond that. Everyone's so loving and caring, and I get so much out of the activities with the kiddos. The girls are fun to be around. After one of the dinners where I had a really heated discussion with the pro-life mom, which by the way is one of my favorites aside from that, we hugged and she said she appreciated me being open and transparent on my stance, that she admired me and learned so much from me.
There you
I
go.
told her that day
That's
that I
nice.
hoped one
That
day
I
our
hope she
daughters-
gets pregnant and has to fucking carry that child no matter the circumstances.
We'll see us disagree, but still love and respect each other. What do you think? Am I overthinking this? Maybe
Yeah.
I'm just a lonely, desperate housewife. LOL. Thanks for your show. DPP was the only thing keeping me sane the first year of lockdown as a first-time mom. Love you guys. And then we have a bonus question, but let's get into this.
What's this woman's name?
It's anonymous.
Okay, let me just say this. Just as I'm always saying on the podcast, like, you're friends with this girl now, it doesn't matter. These women are serving a purpose now, and the world is starting to open up more. You live in Miami, okay? And it's no secret that a large percentage of the Latino population is Catholic.
Yeah.
And usually with that comes certain views, okay? This is just the demographic that you're buying into. This is not all Latina women, but this is the group you picked. And a lot of times if people aren't raised around, like, homosexuality is looked down on a lot of communities, especially a lot of like minority communities. And a Jew is something that some people don't even come in contact with their whole lives. So sometimes it's just out of ignorance versus hate. Not that it's okay, but there is a difference. And it really is, you have to ask yourself, am I uncomfortable, or are you just not used to hearing that? And like, where's your real boundary? But it's so great that you were able to have a conversation. And quite frankly, that's what we're missing. If anything, you should feel bad for them that if they feel that way. Look, you make a gay joke, it doesn't mean you hate gay people. You made a joke, right? So you have to draw that line. But truthfully, right now, it serves a purpose and they don't need to be forever.
Yeah, I guess it just depends. It would be hard if it truly was like coming from a hateful place. It would be hard for me to not. But it sounds like they're open to it. Like, you can just be like, "Why would you say that?"
It sounds like they're ignorant. Like, they just don't
they
know.
don't know any better. So if they're saying something homophobic, you can be like, "Well, what do you mean by that?" Like, just I think if you can discuss
By
it
the
with
way,
them,
you can be educated, and I don't know what that means to you, but you can be educated and still ignorant and just unaware.
Yeah.
You know? You can speak 12 languages and still like not know that Jews don't have horns. So I think you will know when you've had enough, but maybe make it your tiny secret mission to like slowly try to open their minds. It's not about changing their minds or converting them, but having rational conversations like that and giving people a chance to explore answers and not be embarrassed, I think really goes a long way.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like, if somebody explains something to you and they were like, "Hey, I just, why do you think that? What do you think?" Versus like, "You ignorant bitch."
Yeah.
So I think keep it going for now. It's great for the kid.
Yeah.
You're enjoying them. They're never going to be just like you. Maybe they will one day, but they serve a purpose now, and it doesn't have to be forever.
And they seem open. They seem not hateful. They just seem to not know what's going on. And,
And that's, yeah. And people are very protective of being ignorant. Like, well, this is what I know. World
I'm
is
very
changing.
curious if all of these women are vaccinated.
Yeah. There's another can of worms for you.
Yeah. So here's just another bonus question. What are you looking forward to the most about becoming a mom to a girl? This is a real.
I mean, I guess it's a superficial answer because it's just about becoming a mom, and whatever she is or isn't or whatever is fine. But I think, you show her like my mom uses baby oil to take off her makeup, and she showed that to me, like all the little girl things that you wouldn't necessarily have with a boy unless he was gay. So just like little things, little tiny ways to stand up for yourself, little feminine things, little tips and tricks that I probably do naturally that she'll just sort of observe. But I think it's not about creating like a badass, kick-ass, feminist baby bitch, but like instilling in her just a sense of self so that when some like piece of shit guy like tries to do something, not even physically, like she just is so strong in herself that she, just like I did, I'm like, why would you get to talk and not me? teaching her that she is one of the girls and one of the guys.
Yeah. All right.
I'm just looking forward to being her rudder, keeping her on the straight and narrow, but letting her be herself.
And you don't have to make that circumcision decision.
No, we don't live in a rural part of Africa.
Because you're not having a boy.
Right, we're having a girl. And like, never thought of it before, but I did see like a tiny tutu yesterday, and I was like, put the tutu on the baby.
Put a little bow on the baby.
I'm looking forward to dressing her up in a little outfit. Like a little animal. Maybe she's a little elephant. I don't know.
All right. Great.
I'm looking forward to saying that's your vagina. No one touches it. And that's yours. These are your privates.
Is that going to be day one? Get the baby home and be like, that's your vagina.
Let her know, though. Those are your privates. I don't know.
I don't know why it's...
I never thought about it because it's like, it's all going to be cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to like get her to be really good at math. That way, even if she's terrible at math, she'll be better than I was.
Mm.
Like if I start with math from when she's younger, she'll build up some math antibodies. Just don't want it to be hard for her.
Sometimes it just is, but
yeah, sometimes math's hard.
Yeah.
I also think here's my prediction. I think higher education is going to have less of a value in the future.
I think so.
And so I think I'm going to be really, of course, education's so important and being autodidactic and intelligent, but like I think experiences. I think it's very important as an adult to always feel like you belong everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I think instilling that in a person, like roaming about the earth and getting as many experiences so that you're not surprised when you hear about another culture's food or the way someone is. Like you just are calm as you move throughout this planet.
Yeah.
And centered. I think that's important.
Yeah.
So, get a tutor. She can do it backstage during the show. Kidding. I don't know. Maybe we just erase our whole Instagram and I move to Iceland in 5 years. And
what is with you in Iceland?
I don't know. I just feel like it'd be cool. I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
I just know the capital's Reykjavik.
I mean, I think it's nice there.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I just get really tired.
Hi, Liza and Emily. I was wondering if you could help me come up with a good comeback. I have 2 siblings getting married this year. My boyfriend and I have been together for 5 years, so I'm anticipating getting a lot of, when are you two getting married type of questions at my siblings' weddings. I'm not in a rush to get married. My boyfriend and I are both more focused on doing well at our jobs, saving money, and enjoying our mid-20s. What can I say as a comeback when I'm inevitably asked about when we're planning on getting married that won't make me sound bitter or annoyed, but shuts down the question?
Oh, we already did. And then, what? And you'd be like, just kidding. And then be done with it. Or you say, when do you think we should get married? We're taking a poll.
Would love your input.
Be like, everyone's asking, would love your feedback. Just say that.
Yeah. It's just so like, I don't know. Because I feel like anything you say does feel defensive.
Yeah. Also, it's anything you say will sound immature. Like, well, statistically, people divorce. Like, you're just going to sound young and immature. So I just say, put it back on them. When do you think?
Yeah. There's a betting pool.
When are you getting married? And then look at your boyfriend, go, as soon as he can get it up. And then you storm away. Fistful of cake. Whoopsh.
Perfect.
Cake faced.
Hi, Liza and Emily. I love listening to your podcast and gaining some of your insightful wisdom on tackling unique and puzzling situations. My question involves an ongoing issue between my partner and I and the close relationship he has with his ex-girlfriend of 10 years.
Oh, God.
For some context, we both recently got out of long-term relationships before meeting at our part-time job at a seafood restaurant. We both continued to live with our exes due to apartment rental agreements. He and I began talking as friends, then we hooked up at a party and really hit it off after that.
Oops.
We both knew that given our recent breakups, we were uncertain as to whether we could make a serious relationship work. As time went on, I realized I like this guy a lot. We both work with children, have a lot of the same interests.
Wait, at the seafood
I
restaurant?
assume there are other part-time jobs.
We both work with small shrimp.
Our fun times together are amazing, but our low moments tend to revolve around his friendship with his ex. Since we're both still good friends with our exes, we knew we had the arduous task of deciding how to either incorporate our previous partners into our lives as friends or let them go. A few months after he and I started our relationship, we moved out of our apartments with our exes and into new separate places with roommates.
Okay.
With our new living situation, our relationship became more serious, but I became more curious about the time he was still spending with his ex. They shared a dog together, so every 2 weeks they would trade the dog. During this trade time, they would hang out, smoke some weed, and talk for a few hours. At first, I didn't let this bother me as I wanted to respect their friendship. However, I didn't like feeling left out or not even knowing this woman that my boyfriend enjoys spending time with. I mentioned wanting to meet her, which he responded by telling me that she's not ready to meet me yet and that it is crossing a boundary.
Weird. I was cool with it because in that other question, we were like, look, you're allowed to have a past.
Yeah.
That's weird. And this is how she holds on to him and he's letting it happen.
If it was just a friendship, you guys could meet.
Uh-huh.
And a friendship would be
meet
fine.
you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I immediately knew something was off and that there were still lingering feelings. I trusted my boyfriend when he told me he didn't have feelings for her, but I couldn't help but feel like she was having a hard time letting go, and he either wasn't seeing that or enjoys the feeling of being wanted.
Enjoys the feeling of being wanted.
A year and a half later, we are still dating, and his ex has moved across the country to Texas. We're in Oregon.
It's not across the country. That's halfway.
I thought her leaving would reduce their time together and would help me get over the closeness of their relationship. However, they still text each other on a weekly basis, sometimes with pictures and videos of each other, none of which include me, of course. I don't want to be the mean girlfriend that tells him who he can and can't talk to, but seeing as I have no control over this relationship that hurts me, I'm at a loss as to how I can interfere. I messaged her once over social media, and she ignored it, then blocked me.
Oh
She
my
refuses
God.
to speak to me or even speak about me in conversation to my boyfriend. She basically tries to pretend I don't exist. And my boyfriend goes along with it to keep the peace between them. I'm thinking of going to couples counseling with my boyfriend to see if we can get another outside perspective. But part of me thinks counseling is a bad idea because it will open up a lot of my vulnerabilities in which he may use to coerce me emotionally to just drop it.
Are you hearing yourself? Are you? Wait,
I know.
hold on. Not you, Emily.
No, but I know. Like I'm just like.
Are you here? First of all, you shouldn't have to go to counseling for an easy relationship. This is your boyfriend of a year. No, of a year and a half. Sorry,
counseling is always good.
No.
Okay.
Hold on. So many things here. This is when it's supposed to be the easiest. You are supposed to be like the most sexual, the most in love, the most fun. There shouldn't be counseling. Hold on. Are you planning on getting married, or is there like a serious issue? This is supposed to be easy. This is the easiest part. You should not even be entertaining any of this. And the fact that you don't want to go because you're afraid of using your own vulnerabilities against you. This is a person you're intimate with.
Yeah.
And you're afraid he's going to use things against you. Do you hear yourself?
Should I give him another chance of counseling to see if there are any remedies for dealing with the ex-girlfriend? Should I try to reach out to the ex one more time?
No.
Or should I remove myself before I become more involved in their relationship?
There you go. Option
Thank you
C.
so much for taking the time to read my question. So happy to see you in Portland again. Can't wait to meet baby Iliza one day. Signed, LB.
Ding, ding, ding. Look, sometimes I listen back to this podcast and I'm like, oh man, like none of my answers were funny, but I'm trying to help you.
Trying to help.
Please get out of this relationship. You're afraid of being vulnerable around a person who is inside you.
You're like, oh, if we counsel together, he'll know my weaknesses and turn them on me.
That's fully insane.
Yeah.
That you're vulnerable enough to go to counseling, but you don't want to show him your vulnerabilities because you're afraid he'll hurt you. It's beyond insane that this girl, it's either he talks shit about you to her, or it's that she's batshit crazy and he likes talking to her. He's definitely not over her.
The fact that she did you ever meet her? Like, or were you kept away because it was crossing boundaries?
Nobody wants to be, some women do it. That's fine. Like the beta other woman. That's what you are. You're just like, ew, the girlfriend. You're the girlfriend. You're not the woman in his life. You're not the love of his life.
She blocked her on social. I wonder what she's posting on social.
No, she doesn't want to know you exist.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's talking shit about you, but like you're just like, it's like when you meet like a cool guy and he's in a band and he's got like the groupie girlfriend. Like you have, to her, you're like not a person and he's not treating you like the complex individual you are.
If his friend who was a male like blocked you and never acknowledged you, that would be weird.
She's not treating you like a person.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
The only option is do not date this person.
Yeah.
That's it. This guy sucks.
Yeah.
So see you at the seafood meeting. See you in the hush puppy corner.
Yeah.
But who cares? Oh my God.
Get out of there.
Look, I get that it was hot. You were both in like shitty relationships. You worked together for sure. Like that's so fun. Thank God you didn't move in with him because that seems like something you would do. And I
was very relieved that they each moved into separate apartments.
Please get out of this relationship and please get into a relationship with someone you can be vulnerable with that doesn't use your emotions against you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You cannot meet my baby until you do this.
we'll know. Hi, Liza and Emily. I'm a 23-year-old gay guy, and my boyfriend is 24 years old.
Fuck yeah.
Generally, he and I are happy when we have a great relationship. We both came from pretty rocky upbringings and have been able to create stability and comfort with each other. I love him and he loves me.
How do you know?
But lately, we've been having one recurring fight that seems to be putting strain on our relationship. He's a hairstylist who had to take a job
Wait, a gay hairstylist?
I had to take a job at a commercial salon after COVID first hit, and the money he makes doesn't reflect the consistent and great work he puts out. I had a job in retail management that paid really well.
He cuts my hair every week.
But ended up leaving and accepting a job that pays considerably less, but that I'm happier at and doesn't put such strain on my mental health. So right now, we're kind of in a rut where we don't do anything because of money and time issues.
Yeah.
We usually come home, eat dinner, watch TV for a while, and head to bed. I've expressed how bored I am with this, and I've tried planning some things while he really hasn't. He says it's because he doesn't know what to do and he wants to do things, but everything he can think of is a little bit out of our budget right now. Wonder if there's anything either of you can think of that costs little money and could help us feel like we're enjoying our time together and being stimulated in the relationship. Feels like we've drifted apart a little bit with all of the stress and adulting, and neither of us are willing to just sit back and watch our relationship fall apart due to uncontrollable circumstances.
Okay.
P.S. Thanks for making me laugh during my morning routine, work commutes, and long days at the office.
Oh, man. Couple things. Look, I'm not like a love line, but road trips can be inexpensive. You take a cheap road trip, like a couple towns over, cheap motel. You know, roadside snacks are always fun. Take a trip. I don't know where you live. Like, can you go to the beach for a day? Packing a picnic is always inexpensive. Trying out something new and weird with sex. You could always try having sex with a third person. Don't do that.
I think just like, so you sit at home, you watch TV, you eat. Like, what if one of you plans like dinner, like makes a fun dinner, like themes it with a movie?
So cute.
Just like surprising each other,
Emily
even
in Paris
cheaply.
French food night. Yeah, you could totally do that. Plenty of my followers do not have a ton of money, and they cook along with Don't Panic Pantry.
Yeah.
Or they do theme nights, or they do like dinner and a movie. There's inexpensive food everywhere.
And Google free, cheap things to do in my city. There's a million.
It will be an arboretum. It will be boring, but you can go.
Yeah, you'll find out. Like, go for a picnic in the park. Like,
you know what's not that expensive? Drugs.
Don't tell people to do drugs.
I'm just saying, like, or, like do a drunk night out and then you get to nurse that hangover the next day. There's plenty of stuff to do, but it sounds more like you're just not connecting mentally.
I think you're saying like, oh, he doesn't know what to do. The things he wants to do are out of the budget. Set a budget and be like, surprise me with something. Like, surprise each other with something in that budget.
Have
like,
jobs.
Plan an evening.
Also, have a party. Have a potluck party with your friends. Everybody brings a dish.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you do. Spice it up. Take up a hobby together. Go to a
do a
class.
cooking class, or like there's so many that are online. Like, you can even start like, if you want free ones, and just like do something.
Go
cook
do a
something
CrossFit
together.
class together and then barf together. Pick a hobby. Learn a language together.
Yeah.
I downloaded a language app the other day, and I'm
fluent.
Ich bin ein.
Was there more to that sentence?
Ich bin Iliza.
Okay.
I am Iliza.
Okay,
Ich
good.
bin jung. I'm young.
Oh, is that what you're going to lead with?
Ich bin jung und nett. I'm young and nice.
Oh.
Und schön and beautiful. Danke.
Oh. Shun is beautiful.
Schön. Schön. It's like an umlaut over the O. Schön.
Ugh.
I know. My mouth did a weird thing. Oh, fuck. What? I was going to say sorry. Es tut mir leid is sorry. I am sorry. It's a very long one.
Yeah. Well, don't
See you
talk
later.
German to each other, maybe. Don't do that. But
Ich liebe dich.
I think you feel in a rut, like mix it, like do something different. Like,
You could go to a coffee house and order Kaffee und Milch bitte.
your one sentence.
Coffee and milk, please. What else do you need in a foreign country besides a coffee order? Can't wait to the chapter where I learn vocab for bathroom. So far, I only know the nouns for like owl, the words for owl and hound and cat.
Have we talked about like, why does everyone know Donde está la biblioteca? Like, why is library like the first thing
Because
that
that's
anyone
where
learns?
people used to go to like convene as students. Now it's like Donde está el baño?
I do want
That's
to
where
know
I'm meeting
what
up
a
with hot
baño
dudes.
is.
Baño. Alrededor. En el aire libre. Outside. The world. El mundo es su baño. See how I'm a polyglot?
Oh, yeah.
I just switched. Ich bin polyglot. Polyglot. I don't know.
I bet that's what it is.
German's pretty easy, but also very hard.
A hilarious new stand-up special from comedy legend Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, is coming to Hulu November 22nd. This Thanksgiving, see Jim in a whole new light as he gives you the inside scoop on everything from parenting teenagers to weight loss and gaslighting family members. For everyone in need of a happy hour, the new hilarious stand-up special, Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, premieres November 22nd, streaming on Hulu.
Hi, Liza and Emily. I'm outside exercising my dog as I listen to your podcast. And
Exercising my dog?
And I heard a question about neighbor issues and thought I might pick your brain about my situation. I bought a townhouse 4 years
My
ago.
dog lifts weights on my neighbor's lawn. He's very intimidating.
I bought a townhouse 4 years ago near my childhood home because I was able to work from home and I couldn't afford to buy anything decent where I live, Toronto, for a good chunk of my adult life.
What was that sentence?
My move was difficult. Not a fan of small town and some of the people that inhabit them, but my parents are close by and so are family, old friends, an ex I'm friends with. A lot of friendly exes in this episode. So I moved. The house was perfect for me and my dog. Not huge, but huge yard, which is hard to find anymore, and needed that
for
to,
when he runs
to
laps
exercise the
and does
pup.
Clean and jerks and deadlifts.
The people next door were renters, and all I knew was that they weren't, quote, very friendly. Well, that was the understatement of the decade. As time went on, I realized why the previous owner sold. They're complete assholes, abusive to their children, and then in parentheses, reported. Slammed doors so loudly that my sides shook. Smoked MJ 24/7. My side, okay, her side of the townhouse, started smelling as though I was the user. Found out their dog was removed because the neighbors reported negligence. They were both disliked by the entire block and beyond. I tried to get along for years, but one day she slammed a door early in the morning and started screaming and swearing. Waking me and the dog sounded like an explosion. I asked their landlord for help, talked to them, installed door stoppers, fixed sound issues, addressed smell. He was polite, but never did anything, saying they have rights. Last year, things came to a head with the dude. I had to call the police. The event left me anxious, nervous, and fearful. This asshat might hurt my dog. After all, we shared a long fence line that I paid for. They could easily drop something to hurt her. So I decided I had to sell. I felt forced to since I wasn't getting help from the landlord or the city. I thought I'd be able to buy a house soon after, but the market has gone to hell. My questions. I can't seem to let this go. I hate these people. I want them in jail. I hate that I was forced to sell my first home to be safe, but that their behavior has impacted my health and my financial security. I keep thinking I need to bring the landlord to court because he didn't intervene, but who can afford a lawyer? And will I end up losing more and being further away from buying a house with a yard? Sorry, super long, believe it or not. Left lots of shit out. Thanks, Chris.
It's so hard because, by the way, anywhere you go, there's always going to be a shitty neighbor.
Yeah.
And these people, obviously, there's something wrong with them. The whole like tenants' rights things, I've found oftentimes just really fucks over somebody who's good versus the actual protecting the tenant. Just like in stories that I hear. I don't know Canadian law, and I don't know what you would actually bring the landlord to court over. Do you have a friend who's a lawyer that you could just ask? Because you may not have a case. What you don't want to do is spend money to find out you don't have a case.
Right, you sold the house already and left. But now this person has like gotten rid of that townhouse and left, and now they can't get anything else, it sounds like. And
you
so
might
it's
just
like
have to move on. And just in the future, you need to, I hate to say caveat emptor, but like you need to go to that neighborhood at night. You need to ask other neighbors about who those neighbors are.
Yeah.
I bet you that wasn't revealed. Just like this house, when I bought it, wasn't revealed that our pipes are fucking broken.
Yeah.
And now it's like a small tuition to fix it. So it's one of those things where you just live and learn. Just be grateful you're not by them anymore. I don't think there's anything you can do. You can always send that landlord a flame. You can always egg their house. You're not supposed to do that. You can always like leave poop on their doorstep. Enough bad energy will come to them. Nothing bad will happen. You can also just keep reporting them. Maybe the cops will be like, 3 strikes, you got to go.
Yeah, because the dog got taken away.
So maybe the guy will hit his wife and go to jail.
I mean, if you're already out, like you have to wash your hands of it.
Yeah,
If you're
it sucks.
still there, see if you can have a consultation with a lawyer because it might not be worth it.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get anything for it. But, maybe
No.
you were forced to move. But they'll be like, you didn't put up with, like, you weren't forced to move. They didn't hurt you. They were just annoying.
Right. Well, but I'm curious about
When
the
weed is
event
legal
that
in
made you
Toronto.
feel, unsafe with the
Yeah,
guy.
that's
Like it
tough.
just,
He was just probably just a creep. I doubt it sucks. And unfortunately, in any culture, women's safety is a joke. Nobody cares.
I think
And
this
so-
might be a man.
Oh, well, then
Chris?
fucking duke it out. Sorry, I think you might have to
Oh,
just.
no, I think it's a girl.
Yeah. It's tough. Neighbors become very unneighborly when you ask them to do anything that might inconvenience them.
Yeah.
I get it. I've been there. Sometimes I
Yeah.
am there. Kick it.
Top of the cob.
It's the top of the cob. We're doing it right every day. You just take a bite, top of the cob.
My top of the cob the other day. I mean, I've always enjoyed this character from Jim Carrey, but the other day on stage, I realized I have the body of the Grinch. And I pounced around on stage with my little poochy belly, and then I did a Grinch face. And I think I'd like to go as the Grinch for Halloween. I will be in somewhere between, I'll be in Switzerland on Halloween. So interested to know. I'm sure I could Google it. I don't think they do Halloween there, but do you guys do Halloween? Is it worth me bringing Grinch makeup and special effects makeup all the way to Zurich and a Grinch costume?
Mm-hmm.
Just to look like the Grinch.
Okay, my top of the cob is it's nice sometimes to find, like, I was going through some stuff and I found like some old nice cards that people had written me, and like my mom had written me, and like friends and a friend
Yeah.
from college. And I was like, oh, this is a nice little trip down memory lane. Like sometimes it's nice to have those like paper
Yeah.
things. I was like,
It
oh,
is sweet. Sometimes it hurts, but isn't it nice?
yeah,
That's it.
that's it.
My bottom of the cob is, your whole life they're like, oh, eating for two when you're pregnant, which is insane. The baby's stomach is the size of a fingernail. But
Mhm.
truth is, you actually should be eating for less than one, because you get indigestion and food sits in your stomach, and I find that I get full quicker and it takes me longer to digest. And I think that's part of why women gain weight is you're so hungry because you're making a baby and you're tired. But like, it took me like 24 hours to digest something the other day. So don't believe the hype. Eat less.
I mean, eat what you medically need to
Eat
eat. Like,
slower.
don't tell people to.
Fine, do whatever. Don't listen to a comedy podcast for your medical
Yeah,
advice.
I'm just.
I find that eating slower makes my life a lot easier, and then I eat less, and I don't feel like such a lard.
I don't believe that you're capable of eating slower. You eat so fast.
That's me doing the best I can.
Oh my God.
I try so hard.
You eat so fast.
I eat so fast, and I don't know what the root of it is.
I don't know. It really is like a wolf.
I have the weirdest relationship with food, and there's no reason for it. I am wolf. Ich bin Wolf.
No one's reaching into your bowl and you're just like, get away.
Sometimes I'll offer Noah a bite of something. And remember when like your dad would take a bite? Have we talked about this?
I feel like maybe,
A
but
dad bite.
It's, like,
Dads
big.
take these like, oh, they put their whole mouth around your cone.
yeah.
They take half the apple like a horse bite. Noah takes, because he's got big teeth, takes a big bite. And then I'm like, that was my food. And I
The
feel-
food that he probably made for you.
For sure. But it's still my food. And I feel betrayed.
My bottom is the reason I found the cards, etc., is I don't think I know where my car title is and I need to sell my car.
Oof. I'm sure it's online somewhere.
I think I need to like apply for something, but I was like looking through everything. Like I've never in my life like lost an important piece of paperwork. You know what I mean? Like, so I was just like,
Really?
if
I've
it's
seen
not,
your desk. It's just a black hole of
have we ever
insurance.
lost anything? No.
Okay, I don't know. I won't know till you're gone.
It's time to have your high five moment with High Five Casino, the top social casino where the action and real prizes never stop. Fun spins and big wins are right at your fingertips with over 1,000 games, including High Five Casino exclusives. High Five Casino is always free to play with free coins given out every 4 hours. Sign up today for a free welcome offer that can get you spinning and winning right away. Visit highfivecasino.com.
High Five Casino.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. Must be 21 years or older. Terms and conditions apply.